So I came outside to ride today and, looks like I've got a flat tire. So today we're going to learn how to patch a tube. When I go on the longer ride-outs, I always bring a small bag to carry tools and snacks. Here I've got a 15mm socket so that I can take the wheel off, and you'll notice that I've got it on a ratchet instead of a wrench because I've got pegs on the back of the bike. I've got 2 tire levers here to help get the tire off the rim. I've got some patches here, it doesn't matter what brand, and I also carry some compressed air. For today, we're going to be using this machine. It's a small air compressor. You can see that I've got a small thorn here. What I'm going to do is pinch this so I can break the bead of the tire. This is what I mean by breaking the bead. You're going to take it off the edge of the rim, and I'm going to walk my way around it. That's one side. This is the second side. Now from here, what you can do is use your tire levers. I'm just going to use these. Bring it up and over. Boom. So what we've got now is a little gap where the tire is outside. And from here, you just pull around until you've got the wheel off of the rim. I mean the tire off of the rim. You can take the valve cap off, and if you want, from here you can remove the tube. Pop this out, you take the tube out. Or you could just take it out at the area where you've got the hole. Now, it's important to run your fingers inside because you want to feel for where the thorn or the piece of glass or whatever poked through. You need to make sure you get rid of that, otherwise when you put a new tube or a repaired tube back in it, you're going to end up just popping it again. So make sure you double check. Here it is. Kind of difficult for you guys to see. But let's see if we can get it in there. Anyway, that's a thorn. So now let's go about patching our tube. The hole in my tube was so small that I went ahead and filled it up with air. And you can either put it into a bucket of water or a sink filled with water to see where air bubbles out. But in this case, I managed to find where the hole was, and you can put it near your face and listen for air escaping or feel a little breeze, something. I can barely feel it with my hand, but I know that I've got a small puncture here, so we're going to go ahead. My patch kit came with this handy metal file. We're going to use that to scuff the surface. This gives us some fresh rubber in the area that we need the patch to stick on. So we're just going to roughen this surface up a little bit. And you can kind of see there's a little bit of a difference the way this looks to some of the other areas. And then from here we're going to carefully peel off the scab. And we're going to carefully apply it directly over. From here, you need to apply some firm pressure. So let's make sure that we really pinch it on there so that it's got a good bond. I'm also stretching it a little to see what's going to happen because I know it's going to stretch when I inflate it with air. Let's go ahead and get it back in the tire and see how it does holding air. If you want to let the air out of a tube, you can hold down on the little valve. That takes a little while. or you can use a small valve core remover. So this will allow me to take the valve out. The Schrader valve. This is what this looks like. Let's go ahead and get it. Put it back in there. Tighten it down. Pretty good. Now the valve's back in there. And now let's get this back into this one. So I always start with the valve. I'll insert this.
You don't want to twist the tube when you reinsert it back in the tire.
Hole.
And that's why it's a good idea to leave it a little bit inflated.
I'm just going to
It's not a
slowly
balloon
walk
animal,
this tire
so don't get it
back
twisted.
in. There's our patched area. That looks opposite. And then I'm going to work the bead back in. So there's the bead. What you're looking for is to make sure you don't pinch the tube between the bead and the edge of the rim. So just slowly start walking this around. It's a little trickier with depending on the rim, or if you've got parts of the bead that have not gone into the inner channel. I can feel it firming up already. See this gap? A little bit more room. Ta-da! Okay, so now our tire and our tube are back in. It's just now we just have to reinstall the wheel. So I'm going to hook up my machine, little compressor.
Thanks for watching Dad Mode Wheelie Gang.